Good morning. Uh, Today we'll continue from the yesterday's lecture, that is the thermal or temperature stresses in the material. Okay. Yesterday we have found the sums when only one particular rod or one particular material is subjected to change in temperature. Here, if the deformation is restricted or prevented. Yesterday I explained you that the temperature stresses are induced only when the free deformation because of the change in temperature is prevented either partially or completely. If the material is free to elongate, no temperature stresses are induced. Clear? Based on this concept, we have solved few questions in which we have calculated the temperature stresses as well as if there is some support, how much is the thrust or the reactive force exerted by the support on the material or by the material on the support. Okay. In that case, I suggested you first either calculate this reactive force by using this concept of deformation prevented equal to RL upon AE here, and by thinking logically you can get this how much amount of deformation is prevented. With the help of you can calculate this R directly, and with the help of this R you can calculate the stress. The other method which I have suggested, first calculate the temperature strain. In case of the temperature strain is deformation prevented upon original length. You can calculate the temperature strain. With the help of this temperature strain, you can calculate the temperature stress, and then this much amount of temperature stress is actually induced because of this reactive force. Okay, so this stress is equal to this reactive force upon cross-sectional area. You will get this R since you know the temperature stress. Clear? This is one method. Okay. I asked you to solve few questions and submit it. I have gone through that all the solutions. I found that few of the students use some other method, third method, where this stress and this deformation concept is same, but they use some another method. I don't know which book they have referred here, but okay. Anyhow, method is correct. Answer is also correct. No problem. Okay. Now today we'll go further ahead, and in today's lecture we are going to learn about the temperature stresses induced when the two different materials are rigidly connected. Okay, what will be the temperature stresses in that two different materials? Clear? Most of the time, clear, particularly in pressure vessels, clear, in chemical industries, some pressure vessels are there, which are subjected to some heated fluid. Here, and there are two different metals. Here, the shell of that pressure vessel is made up of the three different layers, made of the different material. Here, which are rigidly connected. There may be the insulation. Here, there may be a strong material to sustain the pressure. Okay, so this pressure vessel is made up of the its shell is made up of the three different materials. Clear? So we have to study the stresses induced in this different material when they are rigidly connected. Okay. Concept is important, and the same concept you have to remember while solving the sum. Okay. And before starting this sum, let me revise one thing again. The deformation of the material because of the axial force. Here, unmute anybody and tell me what is the formula to calculate the deformation because of the axial force. Tell me. Suppose this is one material and it is subjected to some axial force, maybe tensile or compressive. If it is a tensile, then there is an increase in length. If it is a compressive, then there is a decrease in length. Okay. If it is tensile, the tensile stresses are induced. If it is a compressive, then the compressive stresses are induced. Clear? Now tell me, what is the change in length of this material because of the axial force? What is the formula for this? Delta L. Come on, fast. Unmute yourself. Hello.
E into L.
Very good. Again. P into
Sir,
L.
PL upon AE.
PL upon AE in terms of this axial force P.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so this delta L equal to stress into L upon E. This same formula we have written in terms of stress, one and the same thing. Okay, so this is the deformation of this material because of the axial force. Here, the temperature stress is what we have studied when because of the change in temperature, the reactive force which is generated here, because of this reactive force, जो deformation prevent हुआ, for that also we can use the same formula. Okay, then suppose the same material, when it is heated, no any axial force is acting, but when it is heated, then how much is the free deformation of this material? Let's denote this also delta L. How much is the free deformation because of the change in temperature? So it is alpha TL. This is the free deformation here because of the change in temperature. This is the deformation because of the axial force. Here, remember this. Again, remember here when we are solved here the stresses induced in the composite material when they are rigidly connected because of the axial force. We have solved such type of questions. When two different materials are rigidly connected, which are subjected to some axial force, like this is material 1, this is material 2. Then how to calculate the stresses? Here in that one, the concept was, here this load which is applied, here is share in the two different material, and we have written the load sharing relation which is equal to P equal to P1 plus P2, which can be written as in terms of stresses sigma 1 plus, sigma 1 A1 equal to plus sigma 2 into A2. This is the load sharing relation. And since these two materials are rigidly connected, the deformation of both the material will be same. And according to that, we have written the strain relation in which we have written that delta L1 equal to delta L2. Here then this delta L1 is the deformation of the material 1 because of the P1. So this can be written as P1 L1 upon A1 E1 equal to P2 L2 upon A2 E2. Or if you want in terms of stress, it is sigma 1 into L1 upon E1 equal to sigma 2 L2 upon E2. Okay. So this way we can calculate the stresses in this composite material because of some external applied force. If you solve these two equations, you will get the stresses in these two different materials. But these are the stresses in this because of the external applied forces. Here, now similar composite material we have to study now. Here, but in that one, here we have to calculate the stresses induced because of the change in temperature. I already told you that here if the material is heated, if there is a change in temperature, it is not necessary that always temperature stresses will induce. Just remember, if the material is free to elongate, if its free elongation because of the change in temperature does not restrict, no temperature stresses will induce. So temperature stresses are induced only when the free deformation is restricted either by using some rigid support or by using some external applied force. Okay, then only the temperature stresses are induced. Okay, now how to calculate the temperature stresses in composite material? Here, so it is temperature stresses in composite material. Okay. Now let's consider, suppose these are the two different materials, very important theory. Okay, just remember. Suppose these are the two different materials. This is one material, and instead of denoting it as a steel, aluminum, or something, I use the suffix 1 and 2. And this is the another material. These two materials are rigidly connected along the lengthwise, or sometimes we can use some another material or plate to rigidly connect them at the end. Okay. Now, in like this, we are not applying any external force on this. Here, let's assume. Okay. And these two materials, here for material 1, here the area is A1, length is L1, modulus of elasticity is E1, and alpha is the coefficient of the thermal expansion. Similarly, for the material 2, A2, L2, E2, and alpha 2, corresponding parameters for material number 2. These two materials are rigidly connected, and let's imagine this assembly is heated through a temperature T degrees Celsius. Means T degrees Celsius is the change in temperature. Remember, in that assignment I observed that somebody use delta T, somebody use small t, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm using the capital T, which is the change in temperature. Yeah, so when this assembly is heated through change in temperature T, we have to find out what will be the temperature stresses induced in material 1 and 2 because of this change in temperature. I already told you that here if the material is free to elongate and no temperature, sorry, no deformation is prevented, temperature stresses will not induce. Here, now here we are not applying any external force here, but this temperature is changed through T degree Celsius. Now what will happen? Listen carefully. Let imagine this material here are actually they are rigidly connected, but let imagine these two materials are free to elongate individually. Okay, here let one end is fixed. Here this is the original length of this material, and now let assume this both the materials are free to elongate. Here their deformation or free elongation here is not restricted. Okay. Now here I am assuming that for these two materials here alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. Now all of you know that alpha is the coefficient of the thermal expansion, and that deformation of the material is dependent on this alpha. If the length is same and change in temperature is same, here the deformation of the material is directly proportional to this alpha. Here, because we know that the deformation of the material because of the change in temperature is alpha TL. Here, if T and L are constant, we can say that the deformation is directly proportional to the coefficient of the thermal expansion. Okay, so for this case, let us assume that alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, L1 is equal to L2, and T is same for both the material. Here, and hence, if these two materials are free to elongate, and if alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, the deformation of this material 1 here will be greater than the deformation of the material 2. Here, so let this is the deformation of the material 1 because of the change in temperature. Here, so it will be alpha 1 T into L1. And I think it as L1, but actually L1 and L2 both are same for this case. Here, similarly, this deformation of the material 2 is alpha 2 T into L2, TC. The assembly is heated through the same temperature. Here, so this is the free deformation of the material 1 because of the change in temperature. This is the free deformation of the material 2 because of the change in temperature. You can say these are the delta L1, or keep it like this only. Let not say it as a delta L1. I'm going to use it for some other purpose. Yeah, so this is the free deformation because of the change in temperature of material 1. This is the free deformation of the material 2 because of the change in temperature. Here, is that clear? Why this deformation of the material 1 is greater than deformation of the material 2? Because alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. That we are assuming. Second thing, here actually the materials are rigidly connected, but for explanation I am assuming that these materials are free to elongate. They are not rigidly connected and they are free to elongate because of the change in temperature. If they are free to elongate, the deformation of the material 1 is alpha 1 TL1 and deformation of the material 2 is alpha 2 TL2. Here this will be greater than this. Okay. Now, since these two materials are not free to elongate, they are rigidly connected with each other. Since they are rigidly connected with each other, they are not free to elongate. Okay. Now, in this assembly, what will happen? Since alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, the material 1 will try to elongate more. But since the material 2 is rigidly connected to the material 1, here it will pull this material on backward side. Means this material 2 will apply the reactive force on material 1. It will not allow one to move. It will not allow one to free of the material 2, and it will apply the opposite kind of reactive force on this material 1. So let's denote this as the R1. Okay. Now what is this R1? Actually this is the reactive force exerted by the material 2 on material 1. Okay, here suppose these are the two different materials. Okay, so if they are rigidly connected, if it heated, material 1 try to elongate more, but since it is rigidly connected to the other one will apply the reactive force, opposite kind of reactive force on material 1. Here, so ये reactive force generate क्यों हुआ? Actually, it is the reactive force exerted by 2 on 1. Here to prevent this deformation. Okay. On the other hand, what will happen? This alpha deformation of the material 2 is less than the deformation of the material 1. So this material 1 here will try to deform more, and along with it, since this material 2 is rigidly connected with 1, here this material 1 will pull this material 2 along with him. Okay, means this is the reactive force exerted by the material 1 on material 2 because of them rigidly connected. The connection between these two materials, since it is rigid, they are not free to elongate. But when there is a change in temperature, these two materials exert the reactive forces on each other. Therefore, this R1 and R2 are the reactive forces exerted by these two materials on each other. Here, and since these are the reactive, though here I have written it as a R1 and R2, but since these are the reactive, remember this R1 equal to R2 according to the Newton's third law. R1 is the reactive force exerted by the 2 on 1, and R2 is the reactive force exerted by material 1 on material 2. Here this is compressive in nature, this is tensile in nature. Here alpha 1 is greater, so this material will try to elongate more. But second material here will pull it back, means it will apply the compressive reactive force on material 1. Whereas the material 2, its free deformation is less than 1. So material 1 will try to pull it along with him here, and hence the reactive force exerted by 1 on 2 is tensile in nature. So remember one thing, whenever alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2 and whenever there is a rise in temperature here, so this material 1 elongate more, but because of the reactive force it is subjected to compression. Material 1 is subjected to compressive force here, and since alpha 2 is less, its free deformation is less than 1, and hence the reactive force exerted by the 1 on 2 is tensile in nature. Okay. Now, actually what will happen, because of these reactive forces here, because of this axial reactive forces here, the deformation of the material 1, final deformation of the material 1 won't be alpha 1 T L1. Since both the materials are rigidly connected together, the deformation of both the material will remain same. Here, deformation of both the material will remain same. So this is the original material 1, this is the original length of the material 2, here, and final length of the material, final deformation of the material 1 will be this much. Okay, and final deformation of the material 2 will be this much, and both are same because they are rigidly connected. Since they are rigidly connected, the deformation of the material 1, I am denoting it as a delta L1, and deformation of the material 2, I am denoting it as a delta L2. So since these both the materials are rigidly connected, this delta L1 equal to delta L2. Deformation will be same for both the materials. Okay, but one important thing is here, this final deformation of the material 1 here is the summation of the two different type of deformation. Listen carefully. Similar kind of reaction we have written here also, delta L1 equal to delta L2. Similar kind of strain relations we have written here also. But in this case, what is the difference? This delta L1 and delta L2 are the deformation just because of these axial forces P1 and P2, which are induced because of this P. Okay. Here, so here delta L1 is the deformation only because of the axial force P1, but here it is not the case. ये जो final deformation है material 1 का, ये final deformation में दो different components है. Here it is the deformation because of the change in temperature, I'm using the word deformation. It may be the elongation, it may be the compression. Okay. So this delta L1 and delta L2 consist of the two different components. One is the free deformation because of the change in temperature, and since other material is rigidly connected to it, one axial compressive reactive force is acting on this material 1, and because of this here ये जो इतना जो short हुआ है इसका final deformation, ये जो short है deformation, it is the deformation because of this R1 axial. Yeah, means here this final deformation is having the two different components. One is the free deformation due to change in temperature. Free deformation due to change in temperature plus deformation. Listen, I am using the plus sign only, but I am writing here deformation due to reactive axial force. So in this delta L1, ये delta L1 है. Here you will observe that it is less than this free deformation. Why it is less than this free deformation? Because of this reactive force. Here this free deformation is not allowed. Here जो दूसरा मटेरियल है उसको पीछे पुल करेगा. Here वो उसको फ्री डिफॉर्म नहीं होने देगा. Okay, so ये जो शॉर्ट है, here this is because of, this is the deformation or this is the contraction because of this axial reactive force. Here, so in this delta L1 and delta L2, there are two components. One is the deformation because of the change, free deformation due to the change in temperature, plus deformation due to the reactive axial force. Okay, this is for material 2. And for material, sorry, this is for material 1. For material 2 क्या हो रहा है देखो, I am coming back to this also. For material 2 क्या हो रहा है देखो, इसका free deformation इतना था because of the change in temperature. अगर वो individually elongate होता था तो इतना elongate हो सकता था, लेकिन उसका final elongation इससे ज्यादा है, इससे ज्यादा हो रहा है उसका final elongation. ये final elongation से ज्यादा क्यों हो रहा है? Why this final elongation is more than this? The reason is that this is the deformation because of this reactive axial force which is tensile in nature. Since this reactive force is tensile in nature, its final deformation is greater than the free deformation of that material. Okay, here so in this delta L2 also we can write, here also there are two components. Here so don't get confused. Here in this sum we have equate delta L1 equal to delta L2, but here delta L1 and delta L2 are the deformation just because of the axial force. हमने एक ही component consider किया था. But here when the materials are rigidly connected, these final deformations are of two types. One is the deformation because of the change in temperature plus deformation because of the reactive axial force. Okay, here now in second part delta L2, it is the free deformation due to change in temperature plus deformation due to axial force. I am writing it properly later on. Okay. So deformation due to the change in temperature plus deformation due to the reactive axial force. Same thing here also. Okay. Now it is a change in length. I have used the word deformation. Deformation is a general word which you can use for elongation as well as compression. Okay. But since it is a summation of this deformation, here while taking the summation, you have to use particularly some sign convention. Okay. And what I am suggesting here, if there is an increase in length, use positive sign. If there is a decrease in length, use negative sign, because we are taking the summation. Okay. Here, if there is an increase in length, use positive sign. If there is a decrease in length, use negative sign. Here, now for example, this delta L1, this free deformation due to the change in length. अभी temperature rise हो रहा है. अगर temperature rise हो रहा है, here तो free deformation because of the change in temperature. Here the length will increase or decrease. Now, since it is a rise in temperature, so the length will increase. Now, since length is increased, you can use alpha TL, alpha 1 TL1, and it is positive because it is an increase in length. अगर fall हुआ तो ये minus होगा because there is a contraction there. Okay, here I observe that some of the students use same concept, but if there is a rise in temperature plus T, if there is a fall in temperature minus T, that is also fine, no problem. अगर आपने इधर minus किया तो automatically ये minus हो जाएगा. That minus means there is a reduce in or decrease in length. Okay, so this is alpha 1 TL1 plus. Okay, I am using it here plus. Here ये ऐसा का ऐसा ही. Now deformation due to the reactive force. Here अभी ये material 1 में reactive force कैसा है? Compressive है. And because of this compressive force, the material will get compressed. Okay, means there is a decrease in length. And since it is a decrease in length, you can use here minus because it is a decrease in length. Here this is the increase in length, this is the decrease in length. So you can take it minus here. So how much is the deformation because of this reactive force? Here this you can write sigma 1 L1 upon E1. Actually this is the stress induced because of this R1. And this R1 is induced because of the change in temperature. And that's why we can say that this is the temperature stress induced in material 1. Here this is the stress induced because of this axial force. That is the external axial force. Here, but here this R1 and R2 are the induced reactive forces because of the change in temperature. Okay, because of the difference in this thermal coefficient. Okay, so here free deformation of the material 1 is alpha 1 TL1 and the deformation due to the reactive force is sigma 1 L1 upon E1. Why I use here negative sign? Because the reactive force on material 1 is compressive. That's why minus. Here, then which is equal to free deformation of the material 2 because of the change in temperature. Now here it is a rise in temperature, so the free deformation is again increase in length, so it is positive alpha 2 TL2. And deformation of the material due to the axial force. What is the nature of the reactive axial force acting on material 2? On material 2, the reactive axial force is tensile in nature. And because of the tensile, there will be the elongation, there will be the increase in length, and because of the increase in length, we use here plus. Yeah, so it is plus sigma 2 L2 upon E2. Here sigma 2 is the reactive force, stress induced in the material 2 because of the reactive force R2. Here actually R1 and R2 are same, but if the cross-sectional area are different, the stresses will also be different. Here, so in this way we can write down this relation. Here, important thing when you compare this with this, here in this delta L1 there is only one component, that is the deformation because of the external applied force P1. But here this delta L1 and delta L2 have the two components. One is the deformation because of the change in temperature. Here are plus and minus deformation because of the reactive force. Understood? Here for your understanding, here आप दोनों पॉजिटिव रखो इधर. Here while solving the sum आप ये दोनों पॉजिटिव ही रखो. And just remember, since it is a summation of the deformation. Here, so while taking the summation, sometimes there may be the increase in length, sometimes there may be decrease in length. So just remember, if there is a increase in length, take it positive. If there is a decrease in length, take it negative. That's all. Okay, here, and when there is an increase in length and decrease in length, that you have to think logically. Therefore, this first part, it is very simple. If there is a rise in temperature, it will be the increase in length. Here, this free deformation will be the free elongation. If there is a fall in temperature, then there will be the decrease in length. So, in that case, if there is a fall in temperature, you have to take it negative. Understood? Yeah, but if you take it negative, take T positive only. It is a change in temperature. Okay, so that value should be positive. Okay, this final value should be negative. Then there is a fall in temperature. Here now it depends on you. Here कि आप पहले negative sign लेते हैं and take the temperature T, only difference. Here or taking this as a positive and take this temperature negative, since it is a fall in temperature, so भी आपका negative आ जाएगा. So it is up to you. Here now how to solve this sum? This was the concept. Here, so how to solve the sum? Here in the similar way you have to, ये जो procedure है, in the similar way You have to solve this sum. Here, when there is a temperature, when there are two different materials, here when they are heated, here it is a temperature in temperature stresses in composite material. Here, so while solving this, first you have to write down the load sharing relation. Actually, in this case, this load sharing is nothing but the reactive force exerted by these two materials on each other. And according to the Newton's third law, the reactive forces exerted by the two materials on each other are always equal. Therefore, here load sharing relation, I can write down R1 equal to R2. The दोनों reactive forces will remain same. Okay, here. Now, actually, this R1 and R2 are responsible to induce the stresses. And the stresses are known as the temperature stresses because this R1 and R2 induced because of the change in temperature. Clear? So if A is the cross-sectional area, A1 is the cross-sectional area of material 1 and A2 is the cross-sectional area of material 2, clear? Then this R1 can be written as sigma 1 A1 equal to sigma 2 A2. Say these are the equation number 1 in terms of sigma 1 and sigma 2. So this becomes the load sharing relation. Here, you must have observed that in this when the two materials are rigidly connected and when some external force is applied, here you know how to write down this load sharing relation. Depending on the different application, the load sharing relation is different. Here also, here, but in thermal stresses, most of the cases, here the load sharing relation is R1 equal to R2. Okay. The next one is the strain relation. I told you that you write here the strain relation, but write the relation of their deformation. Okay, and here you have to write down the relation of their final deformation. Here it is delta L1 equal to delta L2. Since they are rigidly connected, the deformation of both the materials will be same. Delta L1 equal to delta L2 because they are rigidly connected. This deformation is the final deformation. In case of the thermal stresses, in case of the temperature stresses, this final deformation has two components. Which are the two components here? It is the free deformation. Free deformation due to change in temperature. This is the first part. ये first part इतना हो गया, लेकिन final deformation इससे कम है. अभी ये कम क्यों हुआ? Because of this compressive reactive force. Here, so second part क्या आएगा? This is the deformation due to axial deformation due to axial reactive force. This is delta L1. Okay, which is equal to delta L2. Same two components. Free deformation due to the change in temperature. Free deformation due to change in temperature. Plus another component is, abhi dekho, this is the free deformation because of the change in temperature, but final deformation is greater than that because of this reactive force. Here, so second part is the deformation due to axial reactive force. Same term लिखा मैंने, axial reactive force. ये सेम है, इधर लिखा मैंने सेम, but while doing the calculation it is little bit different. Okay, now here I have taken the summation, मैंने plus ही use किया, but what I am suggesting is think logically while solving the sum. If there is an increase in length, take it positive. If there is a decrease in length, take it negative. Okay, for general I am taking positive only. Now how much is the free deformation due to the change in temperature for the material 1? It is alpha 1 TL1 plus how much is the deformation due to the because of this reactive force? Here it is sigma 1 into L1 upon E1. In terms of stress I have written. Here these stresses changes in the material 1 are because of this R1. Here the relation is sigma 1 equal to R1 upon A1. Here for this R1 upon A1 I have replaced by sigma 1. Okay, so this is the delta L1 which is equal to delta L2. it is free deformation because of the change in temperature, alpha 2 TL2, plus deformation because of the axial force, deformation because of this axial force. Here it is sigma 2 L2 upon E2. If you solve these two equations, you will get the answer. Okay, here, now, here general equation I have used plus everywhere, but while solving the sum, here it is not like that. You have to make little bit changes here, and what changes I suggest here, if there is an increase in length, you have to take positive, चाहे ये term रहने दो या ये term रहने दो. If there is an increase in length, that particular term you have to take positive. If there is a decrease in length, that term you have to take negative. Now, in first part, deformation because of the deformation because of the change in temperature. In first part, if there is a rise in temperature, here there is an increase in length. If there is a fall in temperature, there is a decrease in length. Means if there is a rise in temperature, ये दोनों term positive आएंगे. And if there is a fall in temperature, this both will be negative. Now, for second part, which is important, okay, most of the time students make the mistake for the second part. Now, for second part, if the second part is in compression, if the second part, for any reason, because of any reactive force, if the part is in compression, because of that compressive reactive force, there is a decrease in length. And since there is a decrease in length, that you have to take it negative over here. And if there is an increase in length, if there is an increase in length, for example, for material 2, the reactive force is tensile, and because of this tensile, there is an increase in length, so you have to take it positive. Understood? Here means for this sum, when you will write this equation, here there will be the minus, because the first part is in the compression, second part is in the tension, that's why you have to take it positive. Okay, so just you have to solve these two equations, you will get the answer. Not that difficult. Here, now only you have to think logically when the material will be in tension or compression. Okay, that you have to think logically. Here, that depends on alpha 1 and alpha 2. Here, if there is a rise in temperature, listen to me. If there is a rise in temperature, and if alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, here, so just imagine, if there is a rise in temperature, दोनों elongate होंगे. But alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. मतलब material 1 will be elongate more, but second material will not allow that. So second material will pull it back. It means that when there is a rise in temperature and when this is the situation, the material 1 will be in compression and material 2 will be in tension. Okay, and accordingly you have to use the sign O here. Here, if it is in tension, use plus. If it is in compression, use minus. Okay. Then if there is a fall in temperature, अगर उल्टा है, rise in temperature है, and if it is alpha 2 is greater than alpha 1, here for whose alpha is greater, it is in compression, and whose alpha is less, it is in tension. Okay. Whereas for falling temperature, let's consider this case. Alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, and then there is a fall in temperature. When there is a fall in temperature, your first part will be negative, because there is a decrease in length because of the fall in temperature. Now, for about the second part, this is change in length because of the axial force. The axial force कौन सा generate होगा? So when there is a fall in temperature, let's imagine alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. अगर alpha 1, listen carefully, I am drawing the figure here, this is the original length. When there is a fall in temperature, this is material 1, this is material 2, and alpha 1 is greater. Alpha 1 greater मतलब इसका deformation ज़्यादा होगा. Here, now since it is a fall in temperature, so इसका deformation मतलब contraction ज़्यादा होगा, और इसका contraction कम होगा. Here, so but since they are rigidly connected, here the material 2 will not allow to contract it up to this maximum length. Here, so it apply the reactive force on this, and that reactive force is tensile in nature. Here ये उसको पीछे नहीं जाने देगा, contact नहीं होने देगा. Here it will pull it back. Okay, and that's why when alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, and then there is a fall in temperature, the first part is in tension, and second part is in compression. Okay, only this is little bit confusing, otherwise it's not that difficult. Okay, here and I suggest you imagine this, here understand the concept. यार डायरेक्टली मगअप मत करो कि इधर प्लस इधर माइनस, ये फॉलिंग टेम्परेचर आया तो प्लस, राइजिंग टेम्परेचर आया तो माइनस. यार understand the concept and then apply this concept here. Here only I would like to tell you, here delta L1 equal to delta L2, and in this delta L1 and delta L2 there are two parameters. Okay. In today's for today's lecture schedule, there is little bit change. Here my lecture was supposed to 9:15 to 10:15. Here because of some reason of Rishabh sir. Okay, so Rishabh sir is going to start the lecture at 10:30. So you take the break of 15 minutes here, and then Rishabh sir will continue at 10:30, not at 10:45. The Rishabh sir's lecture will start at 10:30. Civil lecture will start as usual at 10:45. Okay, about the sum on this temperature, stress on composite rays will solve tomorrow. Okay, thank you.